Have you ever stopped to consider the many things in your life you continually give your power to on a daily basis? Objects, rituals, people. It could be a therapist, a healer, a coach, a mentor, a teacher, a trusted friend, or a favorite author or podcast whose insights help you access a level of clarity you feel you couldn't easily reach on your own. Perhaps it's a crystal you carry with you because it protects you or helps you feel calm or grounded. Maybe it's astrology, tarot, numerology, or another system you use when you're looking for guidance. Most of us have something or someone that we believe helps us feel more confident, more focused, more creative, more intuitive, more protected, or more connected to something greater than ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, many of these tools can be incredibly helpful. But these things are not actually working in the way most people think they are. Their power to help us is often misunderstood. And this is where we begin to uncover something most people never stop to examine. Where is the power actually coming from? Is the crystal really creating the feeling of calm or protection? Are the tarot cards truly providing the guidance? Is that daily ritual actually producing the result? Is the therapist creating the breakthrough, or the coach creating the confidence? What if these things are helping you not because the power exists within them, but because you're using them to access something that was already available within you? Today, we're going to explore a powerful principle that will completely transform the way you understand spiritual tools, rituals, symbols, practices, and the people you turn to for guidance and support. We'll look at why these tools work and why the source of their power lies not where most people think it is. Think about all the things people use to help themselves achieve a particular outcome. Advice and guidance from a friend or a trusted professional. A crystal to feel spiritual or grounded. Astrology for insight. A ritual for protection. A meditation to create inner peace. A lucky object in a car or carried in a pocket before an important meeting. In simple terms, these are what's known as permission slips. A permission slip is anything you believe helps you experience something you feel you couldn't easily do without it. Maybe it's helping you feel calm and centered, or perhaps more confident, more secure. Maybe you believe it helps you access intuition, creativity, guidance, healing, or protection. But permission slips encompass much more than you think. Common ones that come to mind are crystals, astrology, tarot, numerology, meditation, breathwork, prayer, affirmations, plant medicine, lucky talismans, and countless other similar practices have all been used by people to help them access particular states of mind, gain clarity on a challenge, receive some guidance, or create change in their lives. A vision board is a permission slip, a favorite piece of jewelry that feels lucky or protective. A particular song that generates a specific emotional state you want to feel. A morning ritual, a routine that puts you in the right frame of mind to begin your day. Or a pre-game ritual performed by an athlete. or the belief that you need a cup of coffee before you can fully function. A permission slip isn't limited to an object, a ritual, or a practice. It can be a philosophy, a religion, a teaching, or a person whose perspective helps you give yourself permission to see life differently. This channel and my teachings are another example. Although these examples may appear very different on the surface, they all serve the same purpose. They are permission slips, and our lives are filled with them. One person may feel they need a university degree before they can consider themselves knowledgeable. Another may believe they need a particular job title before they can see themselves as successful. One person may rely on a therapist for clarity, while another turns to a favorite author, mentor, or podcast. One person may find tremendous value in astrology or numerology, while others gain no benefit from it at all. One person may visit an energy healer and experience profound healing, while another experiences no improvement whatsoever. The specific tool is not what's important. What's important is what it represents and the belief system of the person using it. This is why permission slips are so personal. We are drawn to different tools because they symbolize different things to us. And there's no wrong or right one. The right one is whatever one you're genuinely attracted to, because they reflect the beliefs we hold about their power to help us and the comfort they offer in helping us access the states we want to experience. And there's nothing wrong with that. These tools can be beautiful allies. They can help us focus our attention, clarify our intentions, bring perspective to a situation, or help us access a state of mind we prefer to experience. We can honor them for the unique qualities they possess and for the role they play in our lives, while also recognizing a deeper, fundamental truth. The power was never contained within the tool itself. The tool, the object, the ritual, the person, or the practice isn't exactly what's creating the result. You are. The moment you understand this, it changes the way you relate to every tool, ritual, every practice, and every person you turn to for guidance, support, and growth in your life. This understanding doesn't mean you stop using them, and it doesn't mean they have no value. Quite the opposite. It simply means you begin using them from a place of empowerment rather than dependency. You recognize that the source of the result is not the tool. The source of the result is you. The power was never contained within that external object or person you've chosen to use as a permission slip. What exactly do I mean by that? It means that the crystal isn't creating the feeling of calm. The meditation isn't creating the peace. The ritual isn't producing the result. The therapist isn't creating the breakthrough. The coach isn't creating the confidence. What these tools, practices, and people are doing is helping you access a state that you believe would be more difficult to access without them. If you believe a crystal helps you feel calm, then carrying that crystal may very well help you feel calm. If you believe a particular meditation helps you connect with higher levels of awareness, then it may do exactly that. If you believe you cannot access the knowledge and the guidance you need without the help of a therapist, a coach, or mentor, then that's how you'll receive it. If you believe you need the presence of a crystal or lucky talisman to bring you luck, then that is exactly the role it will play in your life. But the reason these things work is not because the power exists within the tool. They work because you believe the tool is helping you access a particular state, insight, ability, or outcome. And this is why some methods and tools work for one person, but not for another. Similar to the placebo effect, if you believe something can help you, it often will. If you don't, it often won't. Every one of us is a unique vibrational signature. Because of that, we are naturally drawn to different permission slips at different times in our lives. One person may be drawn to meditation, another to therapy or life coaching, another to plant medicine, to prayer, affirmation and visualization, or many other tools that exist. The reason something attracts us and not someone else is because it resonates with our own beliefs in that moment. It matches where we are. It provides a pathway that feels natural and accessible to help us gain the outcome or information we need. This is why there is no universally best tool. The best tool is the one you are genuinely drawn to. Whatever tool you attract to yourself is, by definition, the one that will work best for you at that moment because it's matched to your key energy frequency. And they will evolve. What works for you today may not be what works for you next year because you're constantly growing and evolving, outgrowing those permission slips. The moment you believe a tool can help you, you begin giving yourself permission to experience the very thing you believe it's providing. The truth is that you always have access to what you need. By opening your awareness to the greater field of consciousness, you have access to unlimited knowledge, unlimited knowing. You can access the answers, insights, and states of being you're looking for directly. But because many people are not consciously aware that they can do this, they choose external tools that help them access this information instead. This is what makes permission slips so empowering. What we are looking for is never contained within the tool in the first place. These tools simply help us access something that's already existing within us and that we always have the potential to tune into. And when you begin to understand and embrace this, you can eventually learn to access what you need without relying on the external tool, on the permission slip itself. It doesn't diminish the value of the tool. If it brings you joy, or if you feel it helps you, then absolutely appreciate it for what it is, while also recognizing that the true source of the result has always been you. Understanding how permission slips work is empowering, but there's another side to this teaching that's equally important. Permission slips become limiting when we begin giving our power away to them from a state of disempowerment. For example, many people carry crystals, amulets, or other objects for protection from what they perceive to be negative energies. If you believe the object protects you, then it may absolutely help you feel safe. But it's important to recognize what belief sits underneath that choice. The belief is that there is something outside of you that has power over you and that you need something external to keep you safe from it. Yet at your core, you are an aspect of the divine. You are the creator of your reality. The belief that you need protection will always invite things into your life you feel you need protection from. No object, no circumstance possesses greater authority over your state of being than you do. The moment you recognize this, protection stops being something you look for externally and becomes something you naturally embody. Another common example is when we need guidance. Many people feel they cannot make an important decision until they consult a trusted friend, an astrology chart, a therapist, or some other external source of information. There's nothing wrong with using these tools. The question is whether you're using them because you find them helpful or because you believe you cannot access the answer without them. The moment we believe the answer exists somewhere outside of ourselves, we begin giving away our authority. These tools can absolutely help us gain perspective, but the knowing we are seeking ultimately comes from within, from our connection to the greater consciousness. This is where permission slips can either empower us or they can constrain us. They empower us when they help us access a state we know we already possess, but acknowledge we need a little help while we're finding our power. They become limiting when we begin believing that the power, the protection, the guidance, or answer exists within the tool rather than within ourselves. None of this means that you should stop using permission slips. We're drawn to them for a reason. They arrive in our lives through resonance, reflecting what we believe we need at a particular point in our journey. But as we become more self-empowered and more self-sovereign, our dependence on them will naturally fade. For example, I have a beautiful piece of moldavite, a rare green tektite formed during a meteorite impact that I use when communicating with higher levels of consciousness. Do I believe I need it in order to tune into those higher energies? No, but I enjoy working with it. I enjoy its energy and the role it plays in my experience. In that sense, it's a trusted companion on my journey, rather than a requirement for it. I use it out of love, not reliance. I may also ask for guidance from those around me when I'm experiencing a challenge, but ultimately, I know that the answer most resonant for me will be found within myself. This is the distinction. We can appreciate these tools, practices, and people for what they bring to our lives without giving our power away to them. We can seek guidance from others while remembering that the answer most aligned with us will always be found within ourselves. The fundamental truth is that you are the primary tool. You are the primary technique. Here's a simple exercise. Pay attention throughout your day to the permission slips you use. Honor them, appreciate them, but also take a moment to honor yourself. Recognize that whatever form your permission slips take, it's not the source of the result. It's a friend, a helper, a companion on the journey of recognizing and embracing your own power. Everything else is simply helping you remember that the source of all knowledge, insight, and wisdom is never external. It's what naturally arises when you recognize that you are not separate from the greater field of consciousness, from the infinite source of all existence. There is no separation. There never was. And with that, we'll bring this to a close. Questions or comments are always welcome. I read them all. And I've also left a question in the pinned comment for any insights that you'd like to offer. If you like the sharing and you'd like to hear more, please hit the like button. It helps me know if you're inspired by my teachings. For more insights, tap the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released. Thank you so much for listening and for being part of this beautiful community where we move beyond dependency and step into self-sovereignty, recognizing that every path leads us back to ourselves. Superhuman made simple with the architect.